Their energy use, and if they're considering new equipment, how to make decisions about better equipment, we actually help them pay for it to save their energy costs. It's a huge part of operating costs, obviously. So it includes schools, facilities like this, hospitals, homes, to make any difference. Our job is to help people save energy. And then what this is a report for the legislature each year to tell them how we did. Because we have to be able to verify we return at least $1 for everyone spent. Remember that?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to.
Hi, Michael.
Hi. Taking up more than my fair share of the chairs here.
Michael, who are you with?
I'm with Mount Desert Island Biological Lab.
Great. Well, this is really about science. And I work at Efficiency Maine, but my angle is really energy efficiency. But certainly it has a lot to do with scientific analysis, because everything we do at the end of the year is to measure and verify all the programs, the savings, and we report to the legislature about how we got there. And then we go back and do it again. And one thing I've learned is that we'll never run out of opportunities to save energy. When I walk into a building now, I'm trained to look at the lights, the heat, the sensors, everything, and I can see endless possibilities in this place. Not that they haven't done some, but it never ends. As technology improves, our habits change, and that's what my job is.
So how did you come to this? How did you come to this spot?
Go ahead.
I used to teach school a long time ago, but I think the best place to start is when I was a kid. My neighbor came over when I was 15 and asked me if I'd like to have a job as a carpenter, as a laborer, basically. And my parents volunteered that I'd love to do that. so at that, back then I had the chance to work in the trades. And every time I got back from college, I had a job waiting for me, so I was able to learn a trade from a pretty young age. And that's really how I earned my living when I got out of school, as a carpenter. And then with the first oil embargo back in the 70s, the importance of energy took on a different importance. So I was involved in energy efficient construction, and that led me to the Office of Energy Resources many years ago in Maine. And after that, worked at the utility company, Central Maine Power, the electric side of the world, and eventually came to the commission. It's kind of a long way around. But my education is liberal arts. It's English. So what we found in this field is that it's a benefit to understand how to write, how to communicate effectively, because it's a technical field. And we have to have the ability to communicate clearly with people about what this is. Because you're using the example of being at a wastewater treatment facility, speaking probably with an engineer who could not explain what the equipment was used for. It's very
we had no idea. He's like showing this whole class, and everyone was just like, couldn't explain anything to us. Right. You do this, you do that, and then he would mumble some long words, and everybody was just like, what? Nobody knew a thing from after the whole tour, and they were all adults. And all the adults were like.
So what's interesting about this field in education is that that's really at the core of it. In my mind, education is really the most important aspect of this. It's the consumer, student, parent, business owner. Everyone you have to be able to reach them effectively to get the importance of this across. So that's, I think for a teacher, that's a good thing to know, is that it's a great field because you can do almost anything you want in this field. You could be an engineer, you could be a policy person, you could be a builder, you could do anything. But this is where you're interested.
Seems like there are cultural opportunities in this with Efficiency Maine too, overcoming some social viewpoints about having efficiency in your home, and using a particular type of light bulb, or turning off your lights, or flushing your toilet in a particular way.
A lot of people identify efficiency with doing without, and I think that's what you're saying. If I'm catching that right. And the fact is, if you...
Well, I think it's people are used to doing things a certain way.
Yeah, that's right. We run into that all the time.
Yeah.
They like that old incandescent bulb. They don't want to put these in because they don't think the color is the same, or maybe they're afraid of the mercury in it. But the fact is that, like any other technology, the colors over the years have gotten really good. The phosphors are better and better to the point now where their color addition is almost identical. The mercury content is reduced. It's still there, but it's a matter of knowing how to dispose of it properly, like anything else. So it's all part of that learning process and changing your perceptions, no matter what it is. So we do a lot of education to help people understand how all that fits together. So it is about education.
Yeah, no, absolutely, it's about education.
These went out to all the libraries in the schools.
Is it just a timer?
No, it's actually measuring energy usage. If you plug it, say, out in your refrigerator into it, it'll record the amount of power that it uses. Yep, it's right over there. I've got my nightlight plugged in over there.
Okay.
And yeah, plug it in. That'd be interesting. I'm not sure it'll register if nothing is plugged into. You really need to. It needs to be between. Sure. There you go.
Put a phone in there. Oh, I could have left the nightlight on.
Well, that'll measure. That's a half a watt. It's going to be really minor.
Okay.
So you could actually, will that collect data and then you can get it out?
That's what it does.
How do you get the data out of it?
It shows up on the screen. It's a literal readout.
What's the? That's right. You have to ask politely. Please just tell me. But it doesn't store it, I guess.
It stores it on the screen.
Okay, but not in memory over the course of time. Like if you want to record data for a month.
Yeah, what it's going to record, like if we leave the laptop plugged in, or let's say a light, and leave the light on, it's going to tell you how much power it uses over the month. But it's going to be a literal readout all the time. There's no real storage. There are other things that can do that. That's essentially what a utility meter does.
Right.
But technology today is so good that the
but for the student or the the homeowner who wants to collect data on their house, sort of at the homeowner level,
you can do it.
That could be very cool.
It's very easy.
Yeah.
There are systems out there now. If you want to spend $100, Black & Decker, for example, makes one. And usually it passes on the glass of the meter cover, which utility companies don't like, but it's legal. And it'll send a wireless signal inside the house and give you a readout.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's some good products out there. And it is fun, you're right. Kids love that.
Like you could really vision some home-based, projects.
See, for people like yourself that have that kind of interest, it's there. Most people don't have that level of interest. They don't really care. But I think it's good. It didn't work?
No, it did. 119
watts.
For the laptop.
And so you could plug all of your appliances in and get a sense of how much they draw.
What I would do with this one is measure them one at a time.
Right,
Yeah, but you can't. As long as it's 110. You can't plug one of your large electric range.
Exactly.
But it's a very simple device, and it gives you information about what's really happening. And that's your point, is the more you know, the more you can do.
Right.
So if you've got an old refrigerator, for example, and you compare it to one of the newer ones, the differences are remarkable.
So you could plug a refrigerator in?
Yes.
Okay. And you could borrow these from any library?
Yep. In fact, I think your school library has them as well. We sent them out to the schools this year. Last year we sent them to the public libraries. And we sent them free. It comes with a box with instructions. So it's a very simple tool, but the failure rate has been almost zero.
Okay, we're going to
That's
do one more
something.
shift, 10 o'clock.